What if I told you that your life in 2024 could be dramatically improved by the teachings of ancient Greek philosophers? Yes, you heard right. Intriguing, isn't it? Welcome to a journey into Stoicism, a philosophy that originated in the tumultuous world of ancient Greece, yet holds profound relevance for our modern lives. Stoicism is a school of thought that encourages us to find tranquility and happiness by accepting the world as it is, rather than how we wish it to be. It's about understanding the difference between what's in our control and what's beyond it, and focusing our energies only on the former. In the hustle and bustle of 2024, we find ourselves surrounded by noise, distractions, and unnecessary burdens. We're connected with the world like never before, yet we often feel isolated and overwhelmed. In such times, Stoicism can be our compass, guiding us towards a simpler, calmer existence. The Stoic philosophers like Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus taught us to look inwards for contentment, to be resilient in the face of adversity, and to cherish the present moment. They believed that our happiness is not dependent on external circumstances, but on our internal state of mind. And this is a lesson we can all benefit from in 2024. Now imagine if you could declutter your life, eliminate the unnecessary, and focus on what truly matters. Imagine if you could find peace amidst chaos, strength in adversity, and happiness in the simplest of things. This is what Stoicism can help you achieve. As we navigate through this year, there are certain things that we need to quietly eliminate from our lives. These are the things that weigh us down, that distract us from our goals, and that prevent us from finding true happiness. By getting rid of these, we can make room for what truly matters, for growth, peace, and contentment. Join me as we explore the 11 things you should quietly eliminate from your life this year, guided by the wisdom of Stoicism. Scene script. Let's start with the first 3 things to eliminate from our lives: unnecessary stress, negative self-talk, and comparison with others. First off, unnecessary stress. We often find ourselves stressing over things beyond our control. But remember, the ancient Stoics advocated for focusing on what is within our grasp and letting go of the rest. Stressing unnecessarily only hampers our peace of mind and hinders our growth. So, the next time we find ourselves in a stressful situation, let's take a moment to ask ourselves if the cause of the stress is within our control. If it's not, let's make a conscious effort to let it go. It might seem challenging at first, but with practice, it becomes more manageable. Next up, negative self-talk. It's surprising how we can be our own worst critics. We tend to magnify our flaws and belittle our strengths. This is a crippling habit that needs to be eliminated. The Stoics believed in the power of rational thinking. They encouraged us to recognize our self-worth and to be kind to ourselves. So whenever we catch ourselves engaging in negative self-talk, let's pause and reframe our thoughts. Let's replace the negative with the positive, the self-doubt with self-belief. Finally, the comparison with others. In this age of social media, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing our lives with others. But it's important to remember that everyone is on their own unique journey. Stoicism teaches us to focus on our own path and not to be swayed by others' perceived success. We have our own set of strengths and capabilities that make us unique. So let's stop comparing and start appreciating our own journey. But how do we eliminate these hindrances, you may ask? The answer lies in the practice of Stoicism. Stoicism is not just a philosophy, it's a way of life. It encourages us to be mindful, to be present in the moment, and to understand that we have the power to control our reactions to external circumstances. By adopting Stoic principles, we can effectively combat unnecessary stress, negative self-talk, and the habit of comparing ourselves with others. So, how about we make a pact? Starting today, let's strive to eliminate these 3 hindrances from our lives. Let's embrace the calming philosophy of Stoicism and make a conscious effort to focus on what's within our control, to replace negative self-talk with positive affirmations, and to appreciate our unique journey without comparing it to others. Remember, the road to self-improvement starts with acknowledging these hindrances. So let's take the first step towards a more peaceful and fulfilling life by eliminating unnecessary stress, negative self-talk, and comparison with others. After all, as the famous Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Moving on, the next 4 things to remove are procrastination, living in the past, fear of change, and the need for approval. Let's dive right in. First up, we have procrastination. It's the silent killer of dreams, the thief of time. It's easy to say, I'll do it tomorrow. But Stoic philosophy teaches us the importance of seizing the day, of living in the present moment. Remember the words of the great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. The essence of this quote is that life is fleeting and tomorrow is never promised. So let's stop putting off those important tasks and start taking immediate action. Next, we have living in the past. It's human nature to dwell on past mistakes or reminisce about the good old days. However, Stoicism teaches us to focus on the present, for that is all we truly have. Seneca, a renowned Stoic philosopher, once said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Much of our suffering comes from replaying past events in our minds or worrying about the future. The present moment is where life happens. Let's learn to live it fully. The third point is fear of change. Change is inevitable. It's the only constant in life. Yet we often resist it, fearing the unknown. But Stoicism encourages us to embrace change, to accept it as a natural part of life. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Instead of fearing change, let's learn to adapt, to flow with life's ebbs and flows. Lastly, we have the need for approval. It's so easy to get caught up in what others think of us, to seek validation from outside sources. But Stoicism nudges us towards self-sufficiency. As Marcus Aurelius pointed out, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinion of others." Let's stop seeking approval from others and start valuing our own opinions. These 4 points, procrastination, living in the past, fear of change, and the need for approval, are often deeply ingrained in our behaviors. They can be challenging to overcome, but with conscious effort and the wisdom of Stoic philosophy, they can be conquered. Remember, Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or becoming indifferent to life's challenges. It's about understanding our responses to external events and developing resilience and inner peace. It's about living a life of virtue in accordance with nature. These 4 points are often deeply ingrained, but with conscious effort and Stoic wisdom, they can be overcome. Scene script. Lastly, we should strive to eliminate overthinking, lack of self-care, not setting boundaries, and not living in the present moment. Let's begin with overthinking. It's a common habit that can lead to anxiety, stress, and even depression. Stoic philosophy, however, offers a simple remedy. The Stoics believe that our thoughts are within our control. Thus, we can choose to let go of the negative ones and focus on the positive. Remember, as the great Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Next on our list is the lack of self-care. It's easy to forget about taking care of ourselves when we're caught up in the hustle and bustle of life. However, the Stoics understood the importance of self-care. They saw it as a duty, not a luxury. They believed in maintaining a healthy mind and body as a way to live a virtuous life. So let's make a pact to prioritize our well-being this year. After all, as the Stoic philosopher Epictetus pointed out, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Third, we need to address not setting boundaries. It's crucial to understand your limits and communicate them clearly to others. Stoicism teaches us to respect ourselves and our time. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "We are tight-fisted with property and money, yet think too little of wasting time, the one thing about which we should all be the toughest misers." So let's learn to say no when necessary and protect our time and energy. Finally, we come to not living in the present moment. Many of us are guilty of this. We are either ruminating about the past or worrying about the future, forgetting to live in the here and now. But Stoicism encourages us to live in the present. The Stoics believed that the past is gone, the future is uncertain, but the present is all we truly have. As Marcus Aurelius wisely advised, never let the future disturb you. You will meet it if you have to, with the same weapons of reason which today arm you against the present. Eliminating these last 4 points might be challenging, but remember, Stoicism teaches us that we have the power to control our reactions and our actions. So, let's take a leaf out of the Stoics book and strive to eliminate overthinking, lack of self-care, not setting boundaries, and not living in the present moment. By doing so, we will not only improve our lives, but also become more resilient, content, and at peace with ourselves. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Let that step be embracing the wisdom of the Stoics and making these necessary changes in our lives. Because as Seneca once said, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Embrace the challenge, dare to change, and see the difference it makes in your life. Now that we know what to eliminate, let's delve into how we can apply Stoicism to help us in this process. Stoicism, an ancient Greek philosophy, offers us a pragmatic way of being, a way to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and poise. In the futuristic landscape of 2024, these principles of Stoicism are more relevant than ever. Firstly, let's talk about the Stoic principle of focusing on what we can control. Many of the things we've discussed eliminating, worry, negativity, unnecessary distractions, are within our control to change. So let's start by acknowledging our power to shape our own lives. We can't control the world around us, but we can control our reactions to it. For instance, if you've decided to eliminate negativity, start by observing your thoughts. When a negative thought arises, remind yourself that it's within your control to let it pass, without letting it affect your mood or actions. This is the Stoic practice of mindfulness in action. Next up is the principle of accepting reality. This doesn't mean resigning yourself to a less than ideal situation, but rather acknowledging it for what it is. If you're trying to eliminate procrastination, for example, you need to accept that the task at hand exists and needs to be done. Instead of wasting energy denying or avoiding it, use that energy to tackle it head on. Another key tenet of Stoicism is understanding the impermanence of life. This can help us eliminate the fear of change. Recognize that change is a natural part of life, and instead of fearing it, embrace it as an opportunity for growth. Finally, let's discuss the Stoic practice of self-discipline. This can be a powerful tool in eliminating bad habits or unhealthy relationships. Remember, Stoicism teaches us that we are responsible for our actions. So, if you've identified something in your life that needs to be eliminated, take responsibility and make the necessary changes. Let's not forget, Stoicism isn't about achieving a state of emotionless perfection. It's about striving for continuous improvement and learning from our mistakes. It's about cultivating resilience, wisdom, and inner peace. So, as we move through 2024, let's apply these Stoic principles daily. Let's focus on what we can control, accept reality, understand the impermanence of life, and practice self-discipline. And most importantly, let's remember that this is a journey, not a destination. It's okay to stumble, to have bad days, to struggle with letting go of old habits or fears. What matters is that we keep going, keep growing, and keep applying these Stoic principles in our lives. Applying Stoicism is a journey, not a destination. It's about constant growth and improvement. So, let's continue this journey together, navigating the challenges of 2024 with the wisdom of the ancient Stoics guiding our way. We've covered a lot of ground today, and I hope you're feeling empowered to make some positive changes in your life. Let's take a moment to reflect on the journey we've embarked on. We started by understanding the essence of Stoicism and the relevance it holds in our lives as we step into the year 2024. We then delved into the first 3 things to eliminate from our lives: unnecessary worry, comparison, and the obsession with perfection. Moving on, we discussed the next 4 things to bid farewell to: procrastination, resentment, the fear of failure, and the need for constant validation. We stressed the importance of action over inaction, forgiveness over bitterness, courage over fear, and self-love over external approval. In the final leg of our journey, we explored the last 4 things to let go of: negative self-talk, the habit of complaining, the need to control everything, and the tendency to dwell on the past. We emphasized the power of positive thinking, gratitude, acceptance, and living in the present moment. These 11 elements, when eliminated, can open up a world of possibilities for personal growth and happiness. But remember, it's not about achieving an overnight transformation. It's about making conscious efforts each day, one step at a time. It's time to apply these principles in our lives. Start by identifying these elements in your day-to-day life. From there, make a conscious effort to eliminate them one by one. It might seem challenging at first, but with persistence and patience, you'll start seeing the changes, not only in your outlook towards life, but also in your overall well-being. Reflect on the wisdom of the ancient Greek philosophers and use it as a guiding light. Let Stoicism be your compass in the journey of life, steering you away from unnecessary distress and towards tranquility. Remember, Stoicism isn't about having a perfect life, it's about having a better one. So start today, eliminate these 11 things from your life, and embrace the wisdom of Stoicism in 2024.